Hello everyone, it's Anita, and in today's video I'm going to tell you 5 travel stories. So basically some funny and weird things that have happened to me while traveling. My life's pretty boring, so I don't have any crazy stories for you. I'll try my best to make this entertaining, okay? So the first story is, I'm going to call it the time I was kidnapped by an Icelandic horse. So I tried to make it a bit more dramatic than it actually was. I was in Iceland and that happened in October 2016. And I was alone in Iceland and I booked some tours and I don't know, just booked different things. And one of them was a tour where you could ride Icelandic horses and you were just, yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory. So the thing is, first of all, that was my first time riding a horse. So yeah, that you can imagine. And so her name is Berta. I was told that means light in Icelandic. I don't know, this horse just wasn't feeling it that day. I actually feel bad about it because I think, I don't know, let's just let them live their lives. Like, I would be pissed as well if I had to carry some stupid tourists on my back. So I totally get it. But I was fine. Like, after a shaky start, Berta, well, followed the other horses. Everything was going well. The tour itself was nice. You know, Iceland is Iceland. Like, it's beautiful. There's not really a lot I can say about it. So Berta was following the other horses until she decided that she wanted to go her own way, do her own thing, which, I mean, girl, you do you, but not when I'm on your back. Yeah, it wasn't really that bad, so they kind of stirred her back into the right direction and that was it. But yeah, that whole experience was just hilarious. I was probably the most ridiculous tourist they've ever seen. Like, the way I got off her, I almost fell on the ground, and yeah, it was just not as elegant as I thought it would be, you know. But yeah, everything turned out fine, and yeah, that's the first story. Let's move on to the second story. At the time we got robbed at the Colosseum. I mean, robbed is the wrong word. Yeah, let me just tell you the story. Okay, so I was a child, so I had nothing to do with that. And we were visiting Rome, and so we went to the Colosseum. And my dad, he had one of these like fanny packs, bum bags, whatever you want to call them, you know, back when only dads wore them, not now. They were not fashionable back then. And my dad asked my mom to take some pictures of him. So he gave the bag to my brother. He just kind of put it around his neck. My parents swear it only took them a few seconds to take those pictures. When he grabbed the fanny pack back from my brother, he noticed that I was a bit lighter than it should be, and so he looked inside and his wallet was gone. It was gone. So the thieves took the wallet out and left a fanny pack there because, again, it wasn't fashionable, so they wanted to be seen with that, you know what I mean? It's actually not that funny because all his credit cards were in there. 2,000 euros in cash. That was unfortunate. Don't wear a fanny pack, that's all I can say at this point. So here's that famous picture, and here's a family picture just for fun. The next story, that's also, oh, that was so bad. At the time I had to stand in line for almost 3 hours to get into Versailles. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole story. No, so I was in Paris with a friend. We're not friends anymore, not because of that, but anyway. And we decided to go to Versailles. First we took the wrong train, so we had a delay. Also, my friend was not feeling that well, so we left the hotel pretty late. We got there at around 11 AM. That is pretty late if you want to visit Versailles. So we got there, there was this one gate, you go through that, and then there's another one, and then there's the line. I mean, it's not just a straight line, it's like a zigzag line, you know what I mean? So my friend, who again wasn't feeling that well, decided to go back to the hotel because she just didn't want to go through this. So yeah, I waited in line. It was an experience. I was just standing there alone, just waiting and waiting and waiting. Like, some people were eating, they brought their lunches or whatever, so that was smart of them because I didn't do that. I was hungry. I was exhausted from standing in that line for that long. Some people cut the line. I would never do that. I think it's just mean. I don't know, like, who do you think you are? Do you think the rest of us is standing in line for fun? You really think we have nothing better to do? You think we enjoy this? No. And I don't know, like, I don't understand these people. Like, there's a line, you wait in line. It's just, I can't. Anyway, so I finally make it to the entrance when I realize that I was supposed to buy the ticket somewhere else first and then stand in line. There are different like ticket shops or whatever. I just didn't realize it. Oh, you can buy it online, obviously. I was exhausted, I was hungry, and then I was just not sure what to do because I didn't have a ticket. I actually started crying. That is so embarrassing, but I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I was a mess, okay? But they were really nice. Yeah, they showed me where to get a ticket and someone came with me. And then the person who sold me the ticket made sure that I could get inside the castle right away. They were very nice, and I guess this happens a lot. Looking back, it's just one of these things where I'm like, that was so stupid. If you want to go to Versailles, make sure to get there in the morning, early in the morning. Maybe get a ticket where you can skip the line, something like that. Okay, let's go to the next story. In this one, I have to say, it was catcalling at best, possible human trafficking situation at worst. So if you want to skip that story, if that makes you uncomfortable, please skip that story. Yeah, so this story is called The Time Someone Thought I Was a Prostitute. So that was in Nice, France. I just turned 18 and I spent 4 weeks in Nice at a language school. Yeah, anyways, prostitutes there, at least in Nice. I saw a couple of them from time to time because I guess we didn't live in a good neighborhood. So they were dressed normally. They weren't dressed like prostitutes in movies, you know, like the stereotypical prostitutes. So they weren't dressed like that. Sometimes they were wearing sweatpants or business outfits. What I'm trying to say is that it's not that obvious to tell a prostitute apart from someone that's not a prostitute, I guess. One night my friend and I decided to go to the club. So we're walking down the street and it wasn't a super busy street, but it wasn't an empty street either. So there were like a few cafes or bars there and like some people. So my friend and I were walking to the club when this car drives past us and stops. Okay, and it didn't pull up next to us, so there was still enough space between us. It was a bigger car, like I guess an SUV type car, black, and in the front there were 2 men and they were asking us how much we cost. Yeah, so I just told them to F off. I guess it was scary looking back, but you know, in that moment I was like, oh well, they thought we were prostitutes. Let's move on, you know, like I didn't think much of it. Why am I telling this story? Because someone I know that went to school with me, she went to Nice the following summer and she had a similar experience. So just to inform you that this is a real thing. Yeah, and that's the end of the story. That was, I get that was the story. I wasn't sure if I should share it or not, but I think it's just something you need to know. So the last story is the time a group of girls talk behind my back in a language I understand, which, you know, is always great. They weren't saying something mean, but still, it was still funny. So this happened at the beginning of December 2019 in Milan. So I went to Milan with a friend. We went to the Duomo and I immediately noticed that there were a lot of people from Bosnia there. How did I know that? I mean, the sweatpants gave it away. No, They were apparently all soccer players from Sarajevo because they had the flag or whatever you want to call it from that soccer club with them. Were taking photos, and I also heard them speak Bosnian, so yeah, that's why I knew that they were from Bosnia. And that's nothing new. Everywhere I go I hear people that speak Bosnian, Serbian, Croatian, you know. So that's nothing new. Like I always encounter people like that. We're everywhere. Oh, by the way, if you're new to my channel, I was born and raised here in Switzerland, but my parents are from the Balkans. So yeah, just to give you a nice little backstory. So I noticed there were a lot of people from Bosnia there, and they took pictures and they kind of left more or less. So I was just standing there posing, you know, and my friend was taking pictures of me when I heard these girls talking about me. So they were maybe 2 meters away from me, I don't know, and they were saying things like, she's from Bosnia, I'm sure she's from Bosnia, she looks Bosnian, things like that. So I turned around and laughed. They were like, oh, so you're from Bosnia? I'm not sure if I said that my dad was from Bosnia or just yes. I didn't want to have a long conversation about this. Those were all my stories. I hope that they were somewhat entertaining. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe if you're new here. That would really make my day. See you in my next video. Bye!